So funny. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Dystopian Simulation Radio. I'm your host Linz, and I am joined today by my second in command, Mr. Michael 8 of Septembryo, creator of our intro song, and an artist and musician from Calgary, Canada. You do come from Calgary, right?
I do, born and raised.
Okay, long-time listeners will already know Old Mikey here. But for those just tuning in, would you like to introduce yourself and explain why you go by Michael 8? Because everyone's probably going to ask that.
Oh, man. I'll give you the short answer. Septembryo deals a lot of with themes of like supernatural, paranormal, even new age ideas. So there's a bit of numerology with that. But I was born on September 8th. So hence Michael 8 of Septembryo. It's a little bit of woo-woo stuff. So this is short answer.
Okay. And your music also deals with... Are we calling it woo-woo stuff? Really? That's how you're going to sell yourself?
Hey, kids, you like woo-woo? Check out Septembryo.
That sounds terrible, actually. You just sound like a pervert. So, yeah. Where can people listen to your stuff?
I don't know that they'll want to now. But I'm on all the streaming sites, so you can find me anywhere you listen to music. And I basically live on Instagram and post really... dumb video reels. So yeah,
some of them absolutely slap though, like the cats with the like missiles on their backs.
Oh yeah. I just make video memes and put my music on top, and that's my contribution to social media.
It works, you know.
That's all they're gonna get out of me.
And your Halloween song became my entire personality for at least 1 week of October. Yeah.
That's all I asked for.
Yeah. And you also do the intro, which I think I mentioned, but I've just got to mention it again because it's so good.
Yeah, that was super fun. I've done a few podcast intros, all basically paranormal themed, and it's one of my favorite things to do because it's almost like writing a movie theme or something. So, I love doing that. I had a lot of fun doing yours.
Yeah, ours sounds like the intro to like an unsolved mystery style show or something. I really love it. So yeah, thanks for making us a better intro.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I also know you're not a morning person, so this is probably really painful for you, right?
Yeah, I discovered that I have something called delayed sleep phase syndrome, which basically means it takes me hours to fall asleep, but it also takes me hours to wake up. So even if I wake up at a certain time, my brain is not fully there. So it's either going to be a great show or very bad. So we'll see what comes out.
But you've had a Red Bull, I assume.
I had a Rockstar, yeah. This is not sponsored at all.
You should be sponsored by Rockstar at this point, to be honest.
At this point.
All right, so if you're new to the show, it is usually hosted by myself and my best friend Chris. We take turns surprising the other with a mystery topic. One of us shows up with research and the other just has absolutely no idea what's going to happen. And they just have to sit there.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. You're Chris today. So, Mikey, we are gathered here today to dive into a topic that we are both very familiar with. But before we do, I got to ask you to do a little something that you might not be in the right mindset to do right now. And that is, I'm going to have this Canadian man here attempt to read the names of our Patreons to see if he can also fuck up 40% of the pronunciations. So this is a real treat for Patreons. No pressure, because we never get it right. But if you get it right, then, Chris and I are the problem. So here, take it away, Mikey. We're going to thank the Patreons.
You sent me the list, and I briefly debated pronouncing all the names wrong on purpose, but I thought that'd be disrespectful. They're supporting the show. So I'll give it my best shot. Unless it's really terrible, then we'll just say that's what I did at the end. All right, here we go. Big thanks to Philip Hoffman, Pip, the Toxic Avenger, Riaz K, Wesley Akers, Drake Helbig, Linz Gibson, Lindsay Killer, Jamie Sook, Creepy Paper, Cash Brodus. This is what Chris always messes up. Cash Brodus, Broccoli Crab, Riff Cult, Graves, The Ordained Sinister Minister, Beatrice Yambrock. Oh man, that's a new one. A? It's just the letter A.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Lebowski, a hawk, a pigeon, a goose, Michael Cunliffe, Ethan Clayfin, Tony Taylor, and Tarek Samhan.
You know,
Yeah.
I was
There
going to
you go.
say that's pretty good, but what do I know? I don't think I've ever gotten it right in my life. But Patreons, I hope you enjoyed the Canadian version of all of your names being pronounced wrong today, and thank you so much for keeping the lights on over at the DSR HQ. So, now that painful endeavor is over, we're going to get into today's topic. And this might expose us a little bit, Michael, because it's centered around dreaming. More specifically, communicating with each other in dreams. And you, Michael, have been unknowingly involved in a dream experiment, the results of which will be revealed near the end of this episode. Although,
Oh my God.
I do have a suspicion that you did know you might have been involved in something.
Well, I woke up this morning and I had some really weird dreams, like 5 of them. So I was going to ask you if you said something, but we'll see. We'll see.
You know what? Nobody knows that we do this. I don't know why I'm sharing this. And honestly, I don't remember why we started doing it. You might. But periodically, we will attempt to infiltrate each other's dreams and leave behind an object or a scene or like whatever. And the other person has to report back in the morning to see if they if they received it.
Well, we did start doing this for the show. I think we just played the really long game, like good scientists. We wanted to have a good body of work to report from. So here we are. It's finally happening.
I'm just going to go with that because I completely forgot that we had planned any kind of episode and I was just doing it for fun. But speaking of crazy dreams last night, I did not try to send anything, but I was going to ask you what your last dream was.
I'm not revealing anything until you tell me what you said. So
I didn't send
that's,
anything. I honestly didn't. I was just curious now. No, I didn't send anything.
Oh, you tried to trick me then. Wow.
I didn't, honestly.
All right. Well, I'm going to be honest. I had like 5 sex dreams last night and I woke up like, what the hell?
Why would I send you that? And why would you tell the nation?
maybe just to embarrass me on the show. And I was like, what happened? If Lynn sent those to me, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Was Chris in them?
He was not.
Then I didn't send them.
But it's funny because I just read like a fact that it was like sex dreams are apparently very uncommon. Like only like 4% of people have them, or people have them only like 4% of the time. And yet I had 4 last night. So I was like, what happened? So I don't know what I did different.
I want to ask you to elaborate, and I don't want to ask you to elaborate at the same time. I think we've already said too much. But
no, yeah, I think it's best left at
to
that.
confirm,
there's nothing.
Did not send you those, and I never would.
There is nothing of value in those dreams that will contribute to science. So we can
stop talking. Stop. Oh, it was dolphins, wasn't it? Bigfoot.
Hey, I'm happy I can still go 4 rounds even in my dreams. It's good.
I hate this. I hate this conversation so much.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That's all from us. Have a good night.
It's the first time in 2 years I've been happy that my mom wasn't around to listen to the podcast. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Anyways, today's episode is going to include I can't even read anymore. Today's episode is going to include an exercise that listeners can try at home too and report back on. So you've got to choose someone to partner up with and try these techniques with. The dream techniques, not whatever we were previously talking about. And email us or message us, DM us on social media. Okay, so if you want more dream-related stuff from me and Mikey, we did an episode on sleep paralysis a long time ago now, right?
I think that was the first one we did, yeah.
Yeah, that was, God, I don't even know what year we did that. But it was a good one.
It was.
We did a very Mulder and Scully approach to it, so you can go listen to that. It's probably called Sleep Paralysis, I guess. And Chris and I have done an episode on, I guess the closest thing to what we're going to discuss today would either be the LSD dolphins or Project Stargate. So you could go back and listen to those. They're probably 1,000 times more mental. But here we go. So first, a little background. Dreaming. Why do we do it?
Probably just because it'd be pretty boring just lying there thinking about nothing, right? Gotta put on some head movies, right? That's my best scientific hypothesis.
You cannot say head movies after the way this episode started. Dreaming. Why do we do it? Nobody actually knows. But the best scientific guess is that dreams help us process emotions. How me dreaming about filming a Rick Astley music video in a public toilet helps me process my deep-rooted trauma? No clue. But that's the leading theory about why we dream. It's just to process stuff.
I think that's a cop-out, but we'll continue.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts? Because, like, that's what they say. I looked it up and I was like, why do we dream? And they're like, and then they just say that. Do you have a theory of your own?
The scientific jury is still out on why we dream, how we dream. It's kind of a big mystery. So it's kind of cool that dreams are this real life supernatural thing we all experience in that it's not fully understood. A few theories that I've heard that I like and I kind of lean more towards is that dreams do help process and kind of act as almost like a computer kind of summing up all the data and processing it. Because you can see that a lot in your dreams. You notice that you'll see things from the previous day in there. If you spent a long time studying before bed or even playing like Tetris or something, you will see that, play out as you're falling asleep. So I think there's a lot to that theory, but I think that's probably only part of it. I'm a big believer in dream symbolism.
Okay.
In that dreams kind of reveal something about ourselves to ourselves. Although I wouldn't say that I buy into dream dictionaries overall, because I think dream symbolism is very important or like very personal to each person having the dream. So the symbols can mean different things depending on who you're talking to and who's having the dream. Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts on dreams.
That's exactly what I said. To process things. Okay.
No,
I'm kidding.
I like
I'm
the way
kidding.
I said it better.
I'm kidding. Like, first, okay. In response to that, first of all, we all now know what you were doing yesterday from last night's stream. Thank you,
apparently.
Thank you for that. Secondly, I agree with the dream symbolism thing. I'm not sure that, I guess, like, there's a lot of metaphors you could take away from dreams, but my only experience of dream symbolism dictionaries and books like that are ones I get from like secondhand shops or thrift stores, whatever you want to call them. And they're always from like the 60s and really racist. Like I swear, like you also like thrift a lot of paranormal kind of books like this. You must have picked up an old dream interpretation book at least once, opened it, flipped through and been like, the fuck is this?
What does it mean if you dreamed of an Oriental feller?
Yeah,
oh, wow. Okay.
Was that an impression of someone that you actually know?
Someone writing the book in like the 70s or something, yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
what I do find fascinating is I do think there are certain dream symbols that are universal, because there are certain things that are universal human experiences. Like it doesn't vary based on culture or where you grew up or even just within your own family dynamic. Like there's the teeth falling out. Everyone seems to have
Yes.
that dream
Uh-huh.
because like everybody has teeth and everyone has experienced teeth falling out. So I could see dream experiences like that having a universal meaning, but other things like if I were to dream of like Jackie Chan versus somebody else dreaming of Jackie Chan, they might have very different meanings depending on how you feel about him or what your exposure to him was, right? So
What an example. My
I just
personal
want to say
exposure to Jackie Chan.
I just want to say Jackie Chan was not in one of my 4 dreams last night. So
Don't believe
moving
you.
on. Neither was Chris Tucker, so don't get any ideas.
Oh gosh, I feel like one thing I do have like a lot of nightmares about, although I'm not even scared of them, is snakes biting me. And I always look that up, and there's so many different interpretations of it. But yeah, and also for the longest time, I was having that, what do they call it? Is it exploding head syndrome?
Man, yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, but it was like every time I had just fallen asleep, I would hear like a bomb being dropped, and it would feel like everything was shaking. Like the ground and the apartment or the house, whatever, was like shaking, and I would wake up. And I used to get that a lot, and sleep paralysis, which we talked about in the previous episode, but not so much anymore. And I'm not sure why. It's not like I'm any less stressed than I was back then, but I just don't get that anymore.
That's interesting. Yeah. I've had some people who are familiar with me might know that I experience sleep paralysis pretty much nightly. Except I'm never paralyzed because I used to sleepwalk as a kid. So my experiences are not as scary as a lot of people that experience it have it, you know. I'm a big believer that the paralysis itself makes the rest of the experience that much worse. So mine are pretty neutral, sometimes pretty interesting. The one thing I've noticed is over the years, it's gone from being purely visual to now there's sounds and other things kind of being present in there, which is interesting. So when you describe like the vibrating and the earthquake, the sounds,
Yeah.
I feel like it's more intense, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's newer for me, but it wakes you up.
So initially there was no sound.
No, never sound.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and also like another weird thing is when it first started for years and years, it was always like black and white. And now I'm starting to see things in color, and it's just like, wow, what's happening? I don't know. Maybe I got to stop eating like a block of cheese before bed. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Is there an actual link, or is that just an old myth?
I don't know. I think that's just something I've heard from a few people. I knew someone who called it their cheese dreams. So,
Okay.
I don't know. For me, I think honestly because it takes me so long to fall asleep that the process of transferring from waking state to dream state is just kind of so blurred because the process is so lengthened. I think that probably sums up why I have it all the time, is because it takes me literal hours to fall asleep. So it's just like sometimes I won't even feel like I am drifting off yet. I'll just see a dude walk by. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I was that far. Okay, close my eyes.
Oh my gosh, that is genuinely terrifying.
It's not for me though, because again, because I'm not paralyzed, I'm not in kind of that anxious state to begin with. And I pretty much understand what's going on, so there's context. Whereas when it first happened, I was like, the fuck? I was like, there's a ghost, like what's going on? Then you read up on it and you're like, okay, yeah, it's fine. So
That actual condition could explain a lot of people's ghost sightings. I've just made that link now.
I think so, yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible. I would have just been like, oh my God, that's a schizophrenic episode or something. That is so scary. But
Right.
like paralyzed or
asked
not.
my doctor about that. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, that's fine. He's like, if it's like while you're falling asleep, you don't have to worry. That's okay. And
Oh
it's like,
my gosh, I would be so
if
scared.
it's bothering you, yeah, we can look into it. But it's
If it's
so.
bothering you that while you're laying in bed, a man appears in the room, Yeah, it's bothering me. Like, it's so weird how you're like, oh, well, it's just completely normal.
Just to go to my doctor. Listen, everyone else that came by was cool, but this one guy was a jerk. So if you have a pill to get rid of him, he's like, well, there is one man who can track him down for you. The Hat Man. Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
gosh.
Oh,
We get
new
into
movie
the Hat
idea.
Man in the sleep paralysis episode. So just go back there if you want to continue down that thread of thought. So I think everyone knows this, but dreams happen during REM sleep, rapid eye movement, when the brain is most active and dreams are the most vivid. Do you know when REM sleep was discovered? Which year?
Which year? Let's take a stab in the dark.
Yeah.
1912.
1953.
Oh,
So
that was not that close.
yeah, but like
yeah.
it's much later than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eugene Aserinsky and Nathaniel Kleitman discovered it when one of their kids was asleep and his eyes were doing weird twitchy shit quite late, I think.
That is pretty late. I would have guessed, the lowest I would have guessed was like late 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, in the 50s.
Yeah. I was pretty shocked by that. So for this episode, we're going back to 1960s Brooklyn. And this episode centers around a guy called Dr. Montague Ullman. We're just going to call him Monty. And in 1962, he set up a dream laboratory at Maimonides Medical Center. And his goal was to test whether people could telepathically receive images through dreams. First off, who the hell is Monty? Well, he was born on September 9th, 1916. Maybe he was known by his stage name, Monty 9. So our man Monty received a Bachelor of Science degree from the College of the City of New York in 1935, and he graduated from New York University School of Medicine in 1938. So he's not just, not to be mean, one of the quacks that we usually talk about on TSR. His main fields of study were neurology, psychiatry. After a stint in the military, he worked for years in the medical field, and in 1961 he opened the Sleep Lab. And this is the part of his career that we are going to dive into today. So after getting a taste of studying dreams and dreaming, he decided he could not get enough, and he dedicated the next 30 years of his life to it. And he went completely ham on both the medical and the not-so-medical side of it, let's say. So for a few years in the early to mid-90s, which was prime X-Files time, he served as president to the Parapsychological Association and the American Society of Psychical Research, and he was also on the Council of Advisors for the Dream Network Journal.
I like this guy.
This is your kind of guy. Monty 9 and Michael 8 need to collab.
Monty 9, all right.
You have to reach out to him from like using a Ouija board. So we'll have a quick look, because I was like really intrigued by what the hell is the Dream Network Journal. So I sent you the link there so we can just have a little look on this website. Just quickly get the gist of what he was involved in.
Dream Network. Well, we got some New Age style painting as the main image on the site.
Yep. You don't see artwork like that much anymore.
Unless you walk into like a New Age crystal shop or something, then yeah, you see it a lot.
Which I do regularly.
I am impressed to see that the website does look like a legit website. It's not one of those like old like 2000s all black screen with neon green letters like the...
If we put it in the Wayback Machine, I bet it would be.
Like the Heaven's Gate cult website was so retro. They haven't updated that at all.
Yes.
I mean, for obvious reasons.
There's somebody left behind, like manning the emails, apparently. But yeah, so we have like some articles there. Can the world dream peace? The joy of dream groups. And we have the little about section, a place for people to share the wonder and mystery of dreams. It was published and printed from 1982 to 2015. So, yep, our man Monty he was really into that, and he was on the board. I think it's quite interesting that somebody who's worked in the medical field that seriously for that long is also really into this like psychical research and parapsychological stuff. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll get somewhere with this one. So what kind of experiments do you think he performed?
I'm willing to bet that he probably performed some experiences or experiments where to see if there could be communication with people in dreams, whether to or from. I know that there's been some experiments recently having to do with that, but I bet he was on it. This guy seems ahead of the curve.
You need to tell me about the recent one a bit later for sure, because I had no idea. So let's get into where his interest initially came from. So his interest apparently came from dreams that he personally had and thought may have been telepathic in some nature. So we have one example via Sci-Encyclopedia, and it says that Monty dreamed of a middle-aged, heavily built classmate appearing as a ballet dancer in an opera. Later, he found out the classmate really was a dancer and had just performed at the Metropolitan Opera House.
Wow.
I honestly feel like that's the kind of information that you know when you know something, then you forget you know it, and then you just retrieve the information a bit later and go, oh yeah, I feel like he's just done that with a dream.
I don't know, but like someone who's like heavy set being a ballet dancer like is kind of unique on its own. So I feel like if you knew that, you would just remember it. You know?
Do you think that?
And it'd be a weird thing to guess.
I know.
I mean, maybe I'm not as familiar with ballet, but it just seems like everyone's very, very slender and all that. So having a heavy set person involved in that, it's pretty unique and stands out.
Yeah, I mean, someone could have just said it in conversation, and you could have just been like, oh yeah, well, that's cool. And then not really thought about it and forgotten it, and then dreamed it and went, oh my God, I knew it. It's like telepathic. Anyway, so he has these dreams, and he's like, wow, I could really be onto something here. I could be tapping into something. So in the 1950s, he and a Miss Laura Dale did some experiments together where they recorded hundreds of dreams over 2 years using a dormophone to wake her up intermittently while she slept. What's a dormophone, you ask? Well, Michael is going to explain it to you.
It's a phone in your dorm, obviously.
They'll send you the advert.
All right, oh my goodness, it's very old.
Yeah, if you could describe it to the listeners and give them a little idea of what it does.
Learn while you sleep. I'm going to read it in an old-timey voice because it's a very old-timey ad. And just before going off to and coming out of sleep, Dormophone. The multi-use tool for language learning. 3-speed phonograph, automatic changer, $129.50. In what year? This is expensive.
Right?
Wow. I still don't know what it does, and I've read a lot. Okay, an instrument of many uses. There's a paragraph down here. Used like any standard phonograph, has built-in accurate timekeeping clock, which can be preset for automatic play and shut off at any time during the night. Automatic repeater, earpiece, and under-pillow speaker. I still don't know what this does.
So, at certain times of the night, right? You see how it... So, what are we looking at here? It's almost like a little vinyl player with a speaker and a clock and a couple of dials, right? So,
and like an earpiece.
Yeah, there's like an earpiece and almost like a stethoscope looking thing. It has the clock, right? So apparently you can set it to intermittently play this, what looks like a vinyl record. I guess they were something else back then, right? No, it was vinyl in the 50s.
Yeah,
it was
always
quite
vinyl.
Brittle though, right? Monty would set it at they didn't really know about the REM sleep thing yet, or maybe they did, but he would intermittently set it so something would play. And the stethoscope thing or the earpiece, you could either wear that or put the stethoscope under the pillow so you would hear whatever it was playing while you slept. And it cost a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot. For what year is this again?
This was the 50s. So
yeah, $129.50.
You have to get a second mortgage to buy this thing.
Yeah.
So while she slept, this thing would play and it would send her the images or whatever that he wanted to send, right? So she's sleeping, it plays whatever, maybe he goes a red mushroom in the middle of a field, a red mushroom in the middle of a field. So while she's sleeping, she's receiving that And then she wakes up and tells him the dream. So it's kind of like those. Have you ever, in the back of like paranormal magazines, when you look at the ads, it's like, learn French while you sleep.
Right. Or like the sleep hypnosis, like, you do not need to smoke a cigarette.
Yes, exactly.
You are a strong, confident woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the really early version of that. It's kind of what I also do with my phone these days too, like to drown out the thoughts while I'm trying to sleep. I'll put my phone under my pillow playing like a podcast.
Right, same.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Is it weird?
I mean, it's weird that I guess it muffles the sound and it wouldn't wake her up, so it's probably why they did it. So they did these experiments. This was in the 50s too. They did these experiments over 2 years. So this woman was being woken up for 2 years intermittently and made to like write her dreams down or like tell them what they were dreaming about. So hundreds and hundreds of dreams were recorded, and apparently only 10% of the dreams showed like a correspondence with the intended target or image that he was trying to send. Although it was more symbolic rather than a literal vision of the picture or the item, something like that.
Interesting.
So Dale would be woken up, made to record her dreams while Monty attempted to send them telepathically or through this dormophone.
Well, that's interesting because those findings are somewhat close to what we found when we were sending each other things. In the few times that we managed to get something through, it was never the literal thing. It was always something kind of in the same context or around it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do have to struggle a bit to make a connection sometimes. I don't think we've ever just sent like, here is a shrimp, and then like you go, oh yeah, I dreamed about shrimps. Like it's always like, oh yeah, the color pink and water. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Right, it's the context of it.
Yeah,
then it begs the question: is like, are you reaching for, for a connection, or is that just how it works?
Oh, we broke our backs reaching to make connections with the things that we sent initially. So this brings us to Monty's lab experiment. So now he has the lab, right? It's a bit later. We're in the 60s, and he's got a full setup, and he's like, we're going to do this. We're going to have multiple participants. We're going to have independent judges. We're going to have some rules, some criteria. So he comes up with this. The sleeper lies in a soundproof room and he's monitored for REM, or he or she is monitored for REM. And they're hooked up to a machine, so they know exactly when the sender needs to send something. So in another sealed room, the sender just waits for the optimum moment. So when REM starts, a random target image is chosen and handed to the sender. The sender stares at the image and tries to mentally beam it to the dreamer. This is very Project Stargate, Uri Geller style shit right now.
I like it.
So near the end of the REM cycle, the dreamer is woken up and is made to report their dream. And this goes on all night long. In the morning, the dreamer is shown 8 to 12 images, including the real target. So the real image that they were attempting to beam to the sleeper. And these images, so this is the interesting part. They're shown 8 to 12 pictures, and then both the dreamer and the independent judge is made to rank the images in order of what is closest. It's really strange. So they weren't simple images a lot of the time too. They were like Goya paintings, things with a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So you'd say you've got 8 pictures, right? You'd go, okay, if you're the dreamer, you'd be like, I dreamed about a flying cat. And they'd be like, okay, so it's not Saturn eating his son. That's number 8. It's nothing to do with a flying cat. And then maybe there's a dog on a skateboard and they go, it's close to a dog. That's kind of the closest thing. That's number 1. So you would rank them in order of like how close they were. And then you would judge from there. So a hit meant that the target image or the thing that they were trying to beam to the dreamer was determined to be in the top half if it was a ranking between 1 and 4, and then
Right.
4 to 8 would be a miss. So if it ranked within the first half of what was considered closer to the target image, it's a hit, and if it's in the second half, it's a miss. So not exactly nail on the head accuracy, but we'll get to that. So what are you thinking so far? What do you think of the setup of the experiment?
It's pretty interesting. I'm definitely impressed by like monitoring the REM sleep and timing it based on that, which I think is pretty cool. The frustrating thing about all these kind of dream experiments, or where people are kind of testing, precognition and telepathy even, is that the results are not satisfying.
No.
No. But they're making do with what they got, and I have to commend them for even just doing it, because I do think regardless of what people believe about this stuff, I think there's valuable information here that just normally isn't funded.
Yeah, but what do you think of I like that they're doing it also, because it's just something I'm kind of into for fun. I think everyone is a little bit like, oh, did my dream mean something? Am I going to be rich and amazing? Or why are my teeth falling out? Like, everyone kind of thinks about it. But what do you think about the ranking system for what is a hit and what is a miss? Like, I just do not like it at all.
Yeah, it's flawed. I think it's a system that's designed based on the fact that there are no literal hits. So in a way, it's kind of like inventing hits. Like, it's redefining what a hit is for the sake of the experiment. But at the same time, just if we're talking about the filters of experience, like when somebody talks to you about a subject, what they're talking about is filtered through their experience, and then it's filtered through their language, and then you listening is filtered through your experience and your understanding. So if you're looking at information traveling through a series of filters, so to speak, and dreams are something that rarely makes sense to even the person having them, maybe this is what's necessary to do to record this information. But I can see where a lot of people would just throw this out completely.
Yeah, I just don't get why the images were so complicated. Because, like, an entire painting with, like, a lot of stuff going on, like, hellfire in the background, people fleeing, like, all kinds of objects in there. I feel like maybe they chose it because they're like, oh, it's got a sensory aspect to it. Like, if this is a burning village, a painting of a burning village, you might feel like heat, you might hear like crackling, or I don't know, maybe they thought it would be good in a sensory way. But I also feel like a piece of toast, you could have just sent that and then made it really simple. I feel like the more complicated you make it, the more opportunities there is to say, oh, I dreamed of a bucket, and there's a bucket in the picture somewhere in the background, really small, if you look hard enough. And then ranking them,
Right.
I don't like that. I just don't understand why.
Right. You could definitely make a stronger argument that the whole process is designed to get more hits. Like, instead of just sending one simple thing, there's more opportunities to make connections, especially if we're not even looking at literal repeating symbols with more complex imagery. So, in science, you're supposed to be controlling and limiting as many variables as possible. Whereas in this experiment, we're just multiplying them and seeing how many we can fit in there for the sake of getting some kind of result, it seems.
Yeah, agree. Although I'm not accusing him of trying to like skew the results, but it just seems
still
a little
like it.
convoluted. Yeah, you love this guy. So so the results, as we can kind of guess, across 13 formal studies and extra pilot tests, they got a few close hits, but nothing mind-blowing. Mostly colors, general themes, loose symbolism. A later reanalysis of around 450 sessions found judges matched the real target. I read that around 50% of the time, but I honestly feel like it's exaggerated, or it's because of that ranking system. In a sense, like 50% is a hit every time, because if it ends up in the top half of the ranked images. And I just feel like the results of that doesn't matter. But later we'll talk about when it gets reanalyzed. So there was a couple of individuals who performed better. There was some bloke called Robert van der Kassel, and he apparently got 6 out of 8 hits. And then there was William Irwin, who got most of his trials right, apparently, but only by their criteria, which sounds impressive, but I think it's extremely generous, and it's not solid proof that you can beam images into someone's head because someone went pink. And they were like, yes, it was a person. So the studies were replicated later, and it did not go well. Like, it proved nothing. They were just like, yeah, we recreated this, and it sucked ass. So no, it's meaningless, which is really mean to say, because I was rooting for Monty. But so what became of Monty's studies? I did look him up, but you can take a guess. Like, what do you think came of all this? What remained after all of his studies and all of his work?
Well, 129.50 is a big investment for back in the day, and he has this machine. So I'm assuming he just kept going on his own.
Oh, with the old technology.
With the Dormophone. Yeah.
Well, I have a little bit of an image here for you.
Dormophone. It's a Dormophone. Come and get your Dormophone and learn while you sleep.
I'm dancing.
Okay.
I had the image and I just didn't send it so I could hear more of the song. Well, this, you don't have to read all this, but it's just a little, you can read the title and the top blurb and then just a bit on Monty.
Okay. The article headline is How to Get in Touch with Your Dreams. Following is a list of people and programs that will help you get in touch with your dreams. And the top one is Dr. Montague Ullman, psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, conducts workshops in his home in Ardsley using his own technique of, quote, dream appreciation. Call 693-0156 for more information. That's pretty cool. So he's putting out ads in the paper.
Well, if you call this number, oh my God, can you call this number from a Canadian phone?
We would need there's only 7 digits, so we need
it's too old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So sad. It's so sad.
Let's call it anyway. Jeez.
Do it.
It's like old school 90s style prank.
Hey, is Monty there?
Please call it on your phone and see what you get.
Montague, I had a bad dream.
Imagine you called it and got cursed.
Imagine I called it and it was actually some descendant of Monty. That'd be. I've had weirder things happen. Maybe I'll tell that story later.
Imagine you called it and Monty picked up, and then later when you went to sleep, he appeared in your like your sleep non-paralysis dreams, and just was like, "Yes."
Is he still alive?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, we can't be.
Wow,
he was born like.
That'd be the best result then if he picked up.
Imagine. No, he's gonna show up in your dream tonight, so you can ask him everything.
Somehow him being dead makes it more likely that I would reach him than if he was alive.
Exactly. So, this is kind of what it accumulated to, what it amounted to. I would like you to just read the quote there.
It's loading. Oh, this is all Swedish.
Okay.
What am I reading?
So I did not know that this would have any connection to Sweden in any capacity whatsoever. But at the end of my research on this, I just looked it up and, what became of him? What did he leave behind? What's his legacy? And I find this website, which is, what is it called? It's Dream Network Journal. No. Drum Groups Forum. And I was like, why the fuck is this in Swedish? So that quote there, it translates as, dreams are a creative resource that can give us unique knowledge about our lives. Not finding out what they want to tell us is like not opening a letter. And that's a quote from Monty.
I like it.
So, what he left behind are these things known as dream groups. And it's still ongoing today. Like if you have a translate function on a Google there, I don't know if you have that, but you can see that there is like a meetup for March 2026 in in Gothenburg. And this is an ongoing thing as a result of Monty's work. And what it is, do you want to take a guess at what it could be? Monty is not, he's not involved in all these groups, obviously, but he went to Sweden apparently hundreds of times. Yeah, can you guess what these groups are?
It's almost like a book club, but for dreams, where people meet up and try to send each other information through dreams and then discuss the results after.
That would be way more interesting. And I didn't think it's a bit anticlimactic because I thought the same. I was like, oh my God, they're doing what we do. They're sending each other. That would be fun, right? But no, it's basically, not to shit on them, I'm sure it's therapeutic. But it's basically a bunch of people show up. One of their dreams, so they all write their dreams down, right? Like a recent one that they've had. And one of them is chosen to read out their dream. Everybody else in the group writes down what the selected dreamer dreamed, and they sort of like gaslight themselves into thinking that it was a dream they had. It was their dream. And then they interpret the dream and its symbolism and metaphors in the context of their own lives.
Okay.
After they've done that, they ask the OG dreamer questions, and that's what it is. Apparently it's not a therapy or anything. That is what they do. And for a few grand, Mikey, you can become a certified dream group leader.
Do we know what they were trying to achieve with this?
I think it might have boiled down to like they believe that their dreams hold like a bigger insight that, you know, that could lead them in better directions in their lives or something. They just really invest, like they put a lot of stock in dreams. I don't know what this technique is and why, but
well, I think it's interesting because, you know, we talked a bit about how dream symbols are different for every person. So I think there's something kind of interesting about seeing how different people would interpret one person's dream. Although I don't know how useful that would be because, you know, like I said before, I'm a believer that our dreams do hold something meaningful for us, but for the individual. So to pay thousands of dollars to do this is it kind of reminds me of, like, imagine one of your friends went and saw a movie and then came and told you about the movie, and then you wrote a movie review based on what he told you.
yeah, exactly.
Pretending like you saw the movie too.
Imagine you rocking off to the meeting with your 4 sex dreams in a row, and they're just like, who the fuck is this pervert? Well, Mikey, Monty may have let us down with his experiments, but we are here to renew everybody's hope, because today is the day that we prove once and for all that dream telepathy is a real fucking thing. So, as I said earlier in the episode, you have been unknowingly participating in a classified dream experiment of which we are the only participants. So that's no extra people to leak secrets, to leak the target image, nobody to meddle in our affairs here. So each night for the last few nights, you know that I've been asking you to beam me images as I sleep. Fair enough, I may not have been hooked up to a machine that told you when I was in a REM state, but I was sleeping, and you tried your best, okay? We have the results here, and only you, I hope you remember, only you can reveal the true targets that you sent me, the true images you beamed to me. So, if you are ready, and I hope that you've noted down what you tried to beam to me.
It's very simple.
Good.
So-
That's what I was hoping. So let's go back to the Instagram chat that we had, because I don't remember when I started asking you. Right. It's only been 3 or 4 nights, right? Oh, we have had so many ridiculous conversations in between.
Dormophone. Wow. I guess just gotta say that us scientists, we really gotta stick to the experiments and not just keep sending memes.
Yeah, you also scrolling and going, what on earth is this?
Every decision you made in life led you to seeing this shrimp.
So I've got to Friday. Did we start doing it on Friday or earlier?
Linz, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm looking at Friday, and so this is what I sent you. So my dream was books, printed paper. This is like a horror. This is like a traumatizing shopping list. Books, printed paper, black ink, Junji Ito style suicide museum exhibition. I do not know what that means. Piles of intestines, visceral, made from plastics, resin, etc. Retro chairs, fireplace, traditional clothes, shirts and slacks, other people, a tour group, bunker, to which you just replied with a laughing face emoji. So, for Friday's experiment, could you please reveal the target image?
Golden eggs. That's it. That's it.
Right. I'm looking at my list, and of the 1,000 things that I typed down, none of them were golden
Okay,
eggs.
but what would Monty do here? Let's apply some Monty science to this. All right.
He would look for the color gold or
No,
yellow.
he'd be like
He'd probably go retro. They add a lot of orange.
golden eggs, like in the storybook, books that are written with pages and ink. Ah, yes. There
Yeah.
it is.
All right. So the next one was.
Oh, I just kept sending. Oh, you gonna read your next dream?
Oh yeah, but you
I
can.
just kept sending the same
You
thing,
can.
thinking it might go through.
It was always
Always
golden
golden
eggs. God damn it! Even
Well,
last night.
Don't let that stop you from reading your weird dream.
Okay, so the next night, was that yesterday or
I
the
think it
day
was
before?
The day before.
I don't know, but I wrote, man playing a guitar through a window with a podcasting microphone. He was playing one part of a song on a Zoom-style call. Cassowary-type birds or swamp hens running through a backyard or something. And then I'd woken up again a second time and I'd written, bunch of people in their 30s or 40s, not sure, sitting in viscous, no idea what that
One
word
of your
is,
Patreons.
retro-looking unfurnished spaces. Yeah, there may have been someone in an old enamel bathtub. So that was
Yeah,
golden
that
eggs.
was- You don't see it. It's clearly there.
Metaphorically, it's there.
Listen, your dream may be a tough egg to crack, but it's golden, I tell you.
Oh my God, you're awake now,
No,
aren't
this
you?
is all.
puns.
No, the puns come out when I'm tired.
But you did reply. Okay, one weird thing about that is some of those details is that I was recording a song.
All right, because you had put man playing guitar through a window on a podcasting microphone. Yeah.
You know what though? So that was golden eggs again, right?
So those birds.
I did
yeah.
type, cassowary type birds or swamp
Yep.
hens. Now I'm sorry, but that would be a number one on the on Monty's rating
Number one
scale.
hit.
100%, right? That would be a 1. And then you wrote, okay, the weird thing about some of those details is that I was recording a song, and the concept is that it's ... Can't reveal that. It's a secret. But yeah. So I said hens. Golden eggs, hens. I also said retro. No, that's orangey and yellow. So I'd be rated a 1 on the Monty scale.
We
of
cracked
hits.
it. Yeah. We're scientists. We're psychic scientists.
Did I did I send
You
another?
sent another one.
Oh,
I think it was before then. Okay,
Yes,
so you
please.
sent me It says Barbie doll with words written on it. Man with numbers drawn around his face like a clock face, with number 86 in the middle. He was singing. Human bonsai tree. Hair cutting. Hotel room. Outdoor music in a parking lot. The safety dance song. Man with dark purple bags under his eyes and traditional Irish music.
Human bonsai
Yeah.
tree. That was so fucked up. I totally forgot
Okay,
about that.
here's the weird thing is that on a few occasions, your dreams seem to echo what I was doing instead of what I was sending. And that's again by the, let's call it Monty standards, where it's the context that
Mhm.
matches. So on that night, I had just started watching the new season of Stranger Things, and it gives a reference for the time, which was the year 1986. And so if you look at the face with numbers around like a clock, that's referencing time, and in the middle is the number 86. And then I'm sure plenty of people are familiar with the show Vecna. He kind of looks like a tree, like a human tree. Like he's got
Always like a flower or something.
his skin is very rough and it looks like bark, and he's got roots that go into everything. So it's like, that's weird. And then the other thing, if you're following Stranger Things, you know that music plays a very important role in the show, not only just in the show, but in defeating him. And there's music throughout your dream, but also references to 80s music.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
safety dance.
and man with dark purple bags under his eyes. Yeah, Vecta's looking tired, so I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I haven't been watching it, but
That's a
oh
number
my
one hit.
gosh, that's a number one on the Monty scale. Holy shit. And I have another one here. I don't know when that might have been from today, but it says a nighttime at night market. Man on one stall started drawing black ink lines on my right hand, rubbed it until skin was raised. Pain. Downstairs stalls were in ankle-deep water. Woman asked me to put detergent in the river. We spoke Thai to each other. I said no and laughed and tried to leave. She offered me 20 baht notes rolled up into bundles. There was a clock that said sick boy on it. A cafeteria with people I supposedly previously knew.
Okay.
So that was
That
last
was
night's
last
dream.
night.
I guess I didn't
You
send
did
that.
not send that,
think
but I was
so, yeah.
sick the last couple of days.
Okay, so it wasn't golden eggs. What did you send me
Oh, it
last
was
night?
golden eggs again. It was.
Fuck! I thought you were changing it.
I guess that's another thing is like when the odds are astronomical, you want to keep playing the same lottery numbers to up your chances.
Well, I think that just like I thought, we have successfully proved that it can be done with the right, special, amazing, telepathic, gifted people.
I
like
think
you and
we
I.
need to go to the CIA and apply for jobs because it's time to start spying on Russian bases through our dreams.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. But you know what? I can't believe we actually got some kind of decent hits
Yeah, no, there's
on the
there's
Monty
been
scale.
a few instances like that. Like I remember one specifically. You were sending me a dream. I think you sent something like the circus or something to me, and yeah, and in my dream there were like these circular tents, but they were smaller, and in the room behind this, it was almost like I was in like a wedding hall kind of thing, and we were all at like tables. But behind me were these circular tents, and of course, when you're having the dream, it's like this doesn't make sense. But then you told me the circus thing, and it was like, oh yeah, that's the only time you see tents like that. But I didn't equate it with the circus just because of the context it was in. And I think in the same dream there were like animals you usually see with the circus. Like I think there was an elephant in the room, but nobody dressed it. But yeah, so there's some interesting.
Yeah, you're so dumb. I was like, what?
Why would they address the elephant in the room? That's so weird.
That is not my voice. So
Elephant.
funny. But yeah, so I'm gonna chalk that up as a success, to be perfectly honest with you. I think you could pick up where Monty 9 left off. there's definitely a vacancy for that. I think we should continue our dream sending experiments. And I also think that listeners, you should try your own experiment. So pair up with somebody and write in and tell us if you got any hits on the Monty scale or any really specific hits so we can suggest you to the CIA also. But it has been real. It's been fun. And thank you so much, Mikey, for joining us on this episode. Is there anything you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's been a long time, so I'm very excited to get to do this again. How about we just leave it with playing one of my songs at the end of the episode? And I'll let you choose.
Oh, I like it. Very business-minded. Well, I'm going to choose the Halloween one.
Nice. Okay.
So
this is Vampire Teeth by Septembryo.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Dark, that tickle of this tongue as I taste your insides and I eat you raw. A hunger exists that I cannot resist and I can't. Your scent is just so inviting, and when it's all done, there's a pain in my gut, and I will scream never again. Never again, never again. Never again, never again. They say my teeth will rot, but somehow my smile's still shining all the while that I eat you in hordes. Your time has come, you're not the only one, and I can't.